Home Shopping Network bought 2,000 sets. And within 6 minutes, all 2,000 sets were sold out.
It all started one night when Joe Kassin had a bad bathroom experience. Flushable wipes were clogging the pipes, and dry toilet paper just wasn't getting the job done. Joey got back in bed that night. He was frustrated, and he thought to himself, there's gotta be a better way. At that very moment, Aquinelle, the world's first toilet tissue mist, was born.
Ended up going overseas at a very young age. I started to travel with my father, God rest his soul. At around 15, I was already traveling to Romania with him. We're an apparel family by trade, and I used to take the bag down to Delancey Street, and that was my first area working, get on the subway and go down and go start selling. So I didn't sell on my first day, but the second day I got an order, and we started working from then. And that's the way we grew up. We grew up in the garment industry. We're still in the garment industry. Today, we're still an apparel company. We're an apparel and sourcing company, and that's what we do.
Tell me about that first night when you first thought of the idea of Aquinelle and what that bathroom experience was that led to it.
I would find myself, one night heading to the bathroom with a little cup of water, groggy, tired, tripping over my own feet. After I got back to my bedroom, I'm lying in bed. I said, that was really a terrible experience. And I go, there has to be something better. I just started to lie down and think about it. And I was saying, what if I did something a little different? What if I put it in a bottle, what I was doing? And what if I put something that's good for the skin? And maybe I could put some aloe vera in there and some other things. And what would be a good, gentle type of soap maybe into there? And I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. I was walking around my house, up and down the steps, back and forth. I said, this is really, really something very interesting. And I started the next day ordering to my house all kinds of soaps, all kinds of aloe, different types of witch hazel. And I started mixing things in my bathroom. We started making like a little chemistry area in the house.
What made you think you could do this and like figure it out on your own?
You have to be a little naive, but I was, I was really almost thunderstruck by the idea that this, this could be an interesting product.
What did you think? What did you feel was the problem, like the main problem?
So two things that I thought about. One, a long time ago, we banned flushable wipes in our house. The flushable wipes, all they did was cause problems with our pipes, and we ended up having flooding through the ceiling. So that was the first thing was banned. So we used just regular, normal toilet paper in the house. And I say, so I was thinking to myself, what if we can make this a better experience? And I said, let me start putting together something that I think could be, good. I'll see if I like it. I'll put a formula together, and so that's what we did. I made a formula in my house, and I gave out samples to my family, to my brothers, and they said, Joe, this is really an interesting product. It's much better than dry toilet paper. It's much better than a flushable wipe. So I asked my brothers David and Mike. I go, this could be really something. Would you mind if I took a little time out of the garment business and try to develop this as a real product to the market? And they said, go ahead and do it, which is really incredible because, I still had customers I have to take care of, but I wanted to put a big effort into doing this.
And they tested the product themselves.
They loved it. Everybody who we gave it out to the family loved what we created. And we saw we had something unique. And I felt this very special and something possibly marketable. So I started making inquiries to different soap factories. And I ended up calling one of the largest bar soap makers in the country. And he said, what do you want to make? I told him what I want to do. He goes, I know a smaller family factory that does filling, and I think you should start over there. So I called the formula. They happened to be up in the Boston area. And I told him, I want to make this particular product. He goes, you want to make what? I go, yeah, I want to make a product that I spray on toilet paper. He goes, are you serious? I go, I'm very serious. He goes, so come out and see me if you're really serious. So he goes, and bring everything that you're using to make this particular formula. I want to know what you're putting in it. So I asked my brother Michael, you want to drive up with me to Boston? And he said, sure. So we drove all the way out there, and I got to the filler, and he goes, come on in. So I came in, I brought my whole box, I slapped it on the table, and he goes, I have to tell you, he goes, I get calls like this all the time. People want to make things, but nobody takes the time to really come out and see me. You drove 4 hours out from New York City to come and see me. I goes, I really think you're serious. Show me what you're doing. So I showed him what I'm doing, and he goes, I'll help you prepare it. I want to do it with you. And he said, okay. And he had a very good team of formulators, people who can formulate the product. Cosmetic chemists were on the team, and we were able to put an unbelievable product together. Now, it took months and months of review of this product. I started at the same time while I'm researching the formula, and we're putting that together, researching what type of bottles do I want to put it in. And we started researching color. We want to know what kind of color should we be using. At the same time as that, we started reaching out to a young sort of PR firm that was in Manhattan and sort of in the Village area. Very bright young group of guys and girls, and they wanted to help us with branding. Just going through what to name the product.
Because up until this point, they didn't have a name.
Didn't have a name yet.
So you're working on the formula, on the bottle, and you're working with the PR team of how you're going to market it.
We spent weeks on going back and forth on naming the product. We ended up naming the product Aquinelle, which we felt was sort of sounded like beautiful water, and that name really resonated with everybody. At the same time, we wanted a logo and an icon. We ended up with a beautiful water drop on the product, where we felt it was really just tells the whole story of what we wanted to do with this product. After this time, we wanted to see what the best way to market the product. So there was a company out there that we like to follow a lot, and we hired them to do a video for our product, the Aquinelle, and they actually filmed it on the Santa Monica Pier in California, where they had our hostess, Becca Pruitt, taking chocolate and marking it on people's faces and seeing what comes off quicker. Does it come off better with dry toilet paper or toilet paper sprayed with Aquinelle?
So now officially, what is better to clean our tushy? Something dry or something wet with Aquinelle?
Something wet with Aquinelle.
Something wet with Aquinelle.
We have a winner!
We got maybe 500,000 views on those videos. We thought it was an interesting way. And so we started to try to market it to people. At the same time, we started opening an office and hired salespeople and started to do trade shows, and we started to call on different retailers to start to talk about the product. And they all were enamored how we were able to invent a product like this. They go, how come nobody thought about it before? They couldn't believe it. We did a trade show. We were awarded one of the top prizes of the show for the most unique new item. The question that the buyers started to ask is, how are you going to teach people about this particular product? And we didn't really think about it at the time. We just went full force into inventing a product, and we thought we'd just bring it to market the same way that you bring a t-shirt to market or something else in the apparel business that we're bringing to market. So, this was really, an awakening moment for us.
What from all your experience in the apparel business has helped you with Aquinelle?
It helped me through understanding compliance and testing. To make a product, to test the product, to have compliance for a product, to know how to get proper insurance on a product. So we know how to do all that. That's old school. Our area that we're least strong was in understanding today's area of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We did understand some regular marketing. We did general marketing, PR marketing, to magazines and to TV, and we were written up a number of times. We were written up in Men's Health, we were written up in Women's Health, Self, Shape, Parent Magazine. We had a write-up from NACWA. So NACWA is the National Association for Clean Water Agencies. They take care of all clean water in the United States. And they're very against flushable wipes. They said the only thing that goes into the toilet is the 3 P's: poop, pee, and paper, meaning toilet paper. They don't want anything else.
So they love your product.
So I started to work with one of the heads of NACWA, and we sent her some samples, and she sent back, Joe, I have to tell you, I go, the whole office is using your product. We love it over here. We got really some very, very good write-ups, but it still didn't resonate enough with the general public, and we're still trying to figure that out. How do you get that general public to know about your item? And it's very different from, I guess, my generation coming in to making a business. Today, business is really being run today. And it's a lot of bloggers and mommy bloggers, and it's a lot of social influencers. So we're trying to work on that and figure that out better.
What would you have done differently?
I wouldn't have opened a special office. I wouldn't have hired salespeople, and I would have worked on only building the brand and what is the concept of this product. Now we know we have a wonderful concept when the item is understood. So one of the interesting things that happened to us was we went to Home Shopping Network, and we flew out there. We wanted to show them the item. They said, we really like this concept. We're going to bring you on our show with our #1 sales guy, Adam Freeman. You're going to do the Adam Freeman show. I said, okay, we're excited. And so she asked, who's going to come? I said, not me. So I wasn't ready to go on camera like that. So we brought the girl that hosted our Santa Monica show, Becca Pruitt. So we had this 4-pack, and we flew out to Tampa. I actually flew out with my wife. And Home Shopping Network bought 2,000 sets. And within 6 minutes, all 2,000 sets were sold out.
In 6 minutes?
6 minutes, all 2,000
of these were sold
out. We've done a dozen shows with them since that time, and
how did that happen in 6 minutes?
It was something I couldn't even watch. My wife kept saying, "Come watch. You're missing it." I go, "I can't watch it. Just tell me what happens."
In the beginning, you were just selling on your website.
Correct. So we were selling on our website, and we're selling on HSN.
Right.
And we wanted to now start selling. We started putting some merchandise on Amazon to get a feel for what was going on. At that same time, we went to Rite Aid to speak to the buyers if they would, be interested in the product. They said, it's a very interesting product. We'd like to give it a test. So we tested it in about 50 Rite Aid stores, and the buyer called me back, and the head of testing called me. Come in. We want you to come into our office in Pennsylvania, and we want to go over the test with you. So I'm sitting in front of the buyer, and he tells me, "Tell me the truth. Did you go into the store and buy up the merchandise?" I go, "No." I go, "We didn't do anything." He goes, "You did pretty good for a first test, and we're going to try you in all 2,000 Rite Aids."
What was the toughest part along the way?
I think the toughest part is realizing that we didn't really understand the marketing of the product. We didn't understand Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That we spent so many hundreds of thousands of dollars on things that we didn't need.
Like what?
We didn't need the office. We didn't need salespeople at the time. We didn't need the staff at the time. We needed to build public recognition of what this item is. If I have to tell it, if I would tell anybody what they have to, you have to build your brand. Build your brand is reach out to people. If it's a new concept, teach the new concept. Let them know what the product is. You went to all this trouble to create this particular product, and you can't just put it on the shelf without an education. So that is maybe today's social influences can help with the best education.
Where do you see Aquinelle in 10 years?
What's the space for wet wipes and flushable wipes? It's not a $100 million industry, it's a $1 billion industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nothing has ever challenged that, and we feel this product is the first product to really make a challenge to this item. We feel we have a better product. Our product is better than a flushable wipe. It's better than a wet wipe. You don't want to clog your pipes. You don't want to ruin your septic system. You want something that's gentle and safe and good for your skin and good for the family. And this we went out to develop, and we feel we accomplished it with this product.
Did you ever think that from that night in 2014, when you thought of the idea, that it would get to where it is now?
No, I didn't think that. And I'm proud of the whole family that we really were able to develop something as nice as what we did.
How does it feel to be able to change the bathroom experience for so many people?
I must have been very naive because I thought it could be done very quickly, but it's a very good feeling to know that you created something that's helping a lot of people. You know, we were written up by the Crohn's Foundation, the people that have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, as a go-to product.
So if somebody out there is starting a business similar, what advice would you give them?
There's a lot of people who are naysayers, who you know, look to tell you, hey, you can't do this. Be focused. You can do anything. People can really do anything. Put their mind to it. Anybody who says you can't do it, push them to the side and go forward. It's good to sometimes to be a little naive because you move ahead knowing that you can do it. If I thought about everything, all the obstacles that would have been in the way, maybe we would never have started. Elliot, thank you for today. It was really interesting.
My pleasure, Joe.
You know, I hope my little story, you know, can inspire some of the young inventors that are out there. And it really, anybody can do anything. Put your mind to it and go forward. I think that's the end of the day. Put your mind to it and move forward.